spilled hot chocolate on a toddler. This is gonna be my first server horror story. I was a server at the Cracker Barrel for 5 years, so I have some stories to tell. I remember this vividly because it was a Sunday morning and my manager told me I was about to get a party. It was a Sunday after church, so you know the Cracker Barrel was filled to the brim. It was a party of 18 and there were about 5 or 6 kids in the mix. And I don't mean to brag, but I was a 4-star apron, so I basically had a PhD in Cracker Barrel. When I first got to the table, I introduced myself, I greeted everyone, I got everyone's drink orders, and I made sure to let them know that I'd have some fresh biscuits, blackberry jelly, and whipped butter out to them as soon as possible. And when I brought out the biscuits, the dad made a comment like, "Oh, she's on it." And little did I know that man was putting a curse on me. Like I said, it was about 18 people, so everyone ordered different drinks. There was orange juice, water, some people got sweet tea, unsweet tea, and a lot of the kids got hot chocolate. I know Cracker Barrel gives you that country, home, good, homemade vibe, but literally the hot chocolate came out of a machine. There was a specific button for kids' hot chocolate, and I had about 3 of those to make. When all the drinks were done, I rounded everything up, I found somebody to help me run them out, and I brought everything to the table. I wish there was some foreshadowing, a warning, an omen, something to let me know what was gonna happen next. I passed out the first set of drinks on the adult side, everything's cool. Then I go to the kids side of the table. On my tray, I had a coffee pot, I had 2 kids hot chocolates, and 2 kids orange juices. And remember, I was a 4-star, so I was Dr. General Cracker Barrel. I knew the importance of physics and cup placement while handing out drinks. So when I went to pour the coffee for someone, I felt a tap and a pull on my tray. And before I could even react, the tray tips over. And there is hot chocolate and whipped cream on that baby's head. If a tree fell in the forest and there was no one around to hear it, would it make a sound? That is how quiet it was in that goddamn table. I'm looking at the child looking at me. I'm looking at the dad looking at the child. And about 5 seconds later, he starts to scream. He's screaming and he's crying. I'm just standing there in shock. But that shock only lasted a moment because immediately I ran back to the back. I got the burn spray, I got some wet cloths, and I brought my manager. I felt horrible, like a literal monster. Like I was freaking out. But when I got out there, I was apologizing profusely. I was helping cleaning up the mess. Bro, the dad wouldn't even say anything. Like he was so furious. And y'all want to know the worst part? Them motherfuckers made me finish serving the table. But of course I did everything else superbly, so I did end up getting just a $20 tip, but I was expecting to get nothing, so I was grateful for something. When they finally left, I had to discuss the situation with my manager, and he was reassuring me that everything was fine. And then he also reminded me of something that I forgot in that moment. The kids' hot chocolate at Cracker Barrel is literally lukewarm at best. So although I felt horrible that it spilled on the child, thank God it did not burn that baby. And I never mentioned this part because I don't believe in making excuses and I don't want to be that person, but I genuinely feel like the child saw the hot chocolate and tried to grab for it. But regardless, the hot chocolate should not have been close enough for that child to be able to reach for it. So that's completely my fault. But anyways, y'all let me know, what was the worst mistake that you made at your job?